I wouldn't be surprised though going forward. I think it was Marvel Coop where they're starting now to do the ad lib where they're, you know, I think it was with that Marvel one with Dakota Johnson recently, and some of
Madam
the
Web.
yeah. So some of the audio wasn't matching the lips, and it was like they started putting stuff in post production. So either like the line wasn't good enough,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so people were catching on to like me speaking now wasn't matching with the words exactly.
Yep.
So I wouldn't. I don't know if horror would do that. It would be interesting to see, like maybe something like Scream or something that's quite, popular, but something that's a bit, like Talk to Me or something. I don't know if they would, but
Mm.
maybe something to be mindful for going forward.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think we touched on it in Evil Dead, the
Yeah.
original one where like they only had the actors for a certain amount of time, so all like the
Yep.
behind shots were like body doubles, but they'd already spoken their lines and all that kind of thing. But
Mm.
have to keep an eye out for that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I will bang on about this each time because I've done it so many times before. So the process of ADR, which is,
Mm.
even if you've recorded the entire movie, whatever, and maybe there was a noise in the background during some of the scenes or whatever, I guarantee most movies are at least 80% redubbed in like proper voiceover studios, etc.
Mm.
It is not that hard to match up like because like you would just have a thing on repeat and have the actor or actress whatever to keep saying their line until you're personally satisfied with it. So when I
Mm.
see things where it doesn't match, it pisses me off because I'm like, how do you get all this money and you can't even do that? Whereas I do shitty little
Uh,
corporate things for like work and it's like matches up fine and I'm like, so I can do it, but you can't? Like,
Yeah. Well, the one horror movie recently, well, thrill, what do you want to call it? It's called The Fall, and it's where the two girls are stuck at the top of the tower, this radio tower.
yeah.
And I think to keep the M rating, they had to get rid of like 20 F words and replace it with like frickin'. And that's where the ad lib came in. And I remember watching, I don't think I remember like beforehand, but yeah, it is obvious in scenes. And I think it's also a cultural thing, depending where the market of the film is getting released as well,
Mm.
that but it's a bit annoying now because you're sort of like, well, how, is this, it's green screen, but also now it's probably like CGI people in it.
But
Mm.
that's just bad planning on the movie maker's part
It
because,
is.
like, China is one of the biggest movie markets in the world.
Yeah.
That yeah, I would have assumed they would have naturally had an edit that has no swearing or a TV edit, etc. That's more, you know, accessible. So that's a bit disappointing to hear. But again, I'm not surprised considering some producers and directors in this industry. I also think swearing, this is very hypocritical because I swear all the time. I think swearing doesn't necessarily make the sentence better in a
Mm.
script, but yeah, when it calls for it, calls for it. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
Hey, squirrel friend, when one video ends, just open up another one. It's called binge viewing. Go ahead. I support you.